Good morning, students. I welcome you for the biology class. Today, in this particular video, I'll be discussing about the types of diseases. The human diseases are broadly classified into following four categories. They are acute, chronic, congenital, acquired. Coming to acute disease. For example, influenza. So this is described as acute because the effects are like they come suddenly and affect the body very quickly. Another example is common cold, cough, etc. Chronic. Some diseases are long term, like their symptoms last for months or years. Such diseases are called chronic. For example, tuberculosis. So, acute and chronic disease have different effect on human health. An acute disease will last for a very short period of time and will not have time to cause any major effects on our body. But chronic disease will affect the health drastically. For example, the common cold and cough, it's an acute disease. They doesn't cause any bad effect on our health. But if we get tuberculosis, so that it takes years. No? The effect is where there is a weight loss and there are persistent feeling of tiredness. So you have the symptom for long term. Coming to the difference, acute is only for it's called a short duration disease and the patient recovers after the cure and there is no loss of weight or feeling of tiredness afterwards. And there is short duration, there is like loss of work and efficiency. It's only for short period. Coming to chronic, it's a long lasting diseases and patient does not recover completely. He may or he may not. So most of the time he may not recover completely. And there's often there is you can expect there is loss of weight and feeling of tiredness and there is a prolonged loss of work and efficiency. So there's a difference between acute and chronic diseases. With an example, you can just make a note. Coming to congenital. So these diseases are present since from birth. Now they are caused due to genetic abnormality or due to metabolic disorder or malfunctioning of any particular organ. So these can be permanent, generally not easily curable, and may be inherited to children's. For example, color blindness, hemophilia, sickle cell anemia, etc. Acquired disease. The meaning itself, the word itself says like something which is acquired, which has been developed after the birth. Now, acquired diseases are classified into two types again infectious, the other name is communicable disease, non infectious or non communicable diseases. So, what are infectious disease? The disease which can be transmitted from one individual to another directly or indirectly. So, it's called communicable or infectious disease. So, these diseases are caused by some biological agents like pathogens such as virus, bacteria, fungi, etc. Example tuberculosis, cholera. Non infectious diseases, which cannot be transmitted from one individual to another directly or indirectly. So it is called non communicable or non infectious. And these diseases are restricted only to those persons who are suffering. For example, cancer, scurvy, etc. So these are the following types of diseases. Deficiency diseases, the diseases which are caused due to lack of some protein, minerals, vitamins, like that. So, essential substances. So, a lack of essential substances in our diet. So, as I mentioned, it's proteins, vitamins, etc. For example, scurvy, rickets, degenerative diseases. So, these diseases are caused due to degeneration of tissues as in the old age. For example, cataract, cardiovascular diseases. Coming to cancer. So, it's caused by like due to uncontrolled growth of tissue in any of the body parts. Allergic diseases. So these diseases are caused due to hypersensitivity of the body against the foreign substances like asthma. Metabolic disorder. So these diseases are caused due to defects in metabolic reactions like goiter. Injury. So it's a caused due to injury and damage to any part of the body by an accident. The spread and rate of the new cases can be classified as endemic. It describes a disease that is present permanently in a region or a particular population. Epidemic. It's an outbreak that affects many people at one particular time and can spread through one or several communities. Pandemic. It's a term used to describe an epidemic when it spreads to global. So give one example for endemic, epidemic, and pandemic. So that will be an assignment for your students. Thank you. Have a nice day.